He knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
If you want to know why Arlington, rent a Toyota. That's why. It's not just a rental, it's a Toyota. Need an 8-passenger Sienna van? Rent it. Curious about all the new 2025 Camry features? Rent it. How about a fuel-efficient RAV4? Arlington has 25 in stock and ready to rent. Rent a Toyota at Arlington has plenty of hybrids, too. And Arlington's competitive rental rates make every mile amazing. Just go to arlingtontoyota.com and reserve your rental online today.
Have you added a new puppy to your family? Forever Vets now has puppy socials every month to help your fur baby get used to the other puppies in a safe and secure environment. Parents stay for the social, and Forever Vets trained vet techs will be there to answer questions. Forever Vets will also provide a puppy goodie bag and pup cups for your fur baby, along with some great discounts on services. All puppies under 1 year old with appropriate up-to-date shots are welcome. You must sign up in advance, so visit forevervets.com to get more info on how to register. That's forevervets.com.
Eat Your Yard Jacks is a local nonprofit with a mission to empower people to eat local 1 yard at a time by providing resources and education to allow everyone to enjoy urban agriculture. Visit us at our edible plant nursery and demonstration site open to the public every Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4. We also provide employment opportunities to a marginalized population in the special needs community. For more information about us and what we do, call 904-343-9575 or visit eatyyouryardjacks.org.
You're invited to shop at Eartha's Farm and Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from our 10.5-acre urban farm, 4850 Moncrief Road. Join us for volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer? Call 904-354-4162 or visit our Eartha's Farm and Market Eventbrite page. Eartha's Farm and Market wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White Mission.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL Week 11 kicks off tonight with a battle for first place in the NFC East. The 7-2 Eagles host the 7-3 Commanders. ESPN's Jason McCourty says this game will test the Eagles' 5-game winning streak.
Is this team as legit going against a division opponent that's been rolling this year in the Commanders? And for Jaden Daniels, you're coming off a game that you lost on the last second to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers defense beat up on them a little bit. How does he respond in his rookie year to a little bit of adversity?
Jason McCourty, the annual NFL Scouting Combine will stay in Indianapolis for at least 2 more years. A deal announced today runs through 2026. Indy has hosted the Combine since 1987. The Tampa Bay Rays will play their home games next year at the Yankees spring training facility in Tampa. Steinbrenner Field can hold 11,000 fans. Tropicana Field was heavily damaged by Hurricane Milton more than a month ago. 40-year-old Lindsey Vonn is back with the U.S. ski team. She hasn't raced in 5 years.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, Mike Tomlin has the Steelers rolling. I'll tell you why a win over the Ravens makes him the clear favorite for Coach of the Year. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio. Turn it up!
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Oh, yeah! Howdy do? Hey, Brian. We're back.
One day only. No,
Surprise. Hi, everybody. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. I'm Aaron Schachter, Brian Middleton along with me. We're with you guys up until 5 p.m., doing you the service. You're welcome. Had to take off a couple of days because they announced the sexiest man of 2024. I had to go do the press run.
No, I thought you had to go and make sure you were in the front row. Find out.
Oh, front row. I was saying I am the sexiest man.
Oh, I got that.
You're saying I like to be a fan of the sexiest man.
Hey, man, you're secure in your masculinity, man.
Am I?
You support men. Men support men.
How was your 2 days off, Brian?
Oh, I'm a little tired, to be honest with you, but it was good.
Yeah?
Good stuff,
Dragging
man.
a little bit, not getting enough sleep, buddy?
Hey, man, that's what happens, man. When you hit the road, no stops.
I definitely have not been getting enough sleep, but it's got nothing to do other than my stupid puppy at home. She's not stupid.
Wow. So that's what you're doing. You're attacking. That is only Aaron Schachter of the Aaron Schachter Show, folks.
If I'm going to be
crazy?
honest.
You don't want no money, huh? You don't like dogs?
If I'm going to be honest.
Brent Martineau.
I love my dog.
Wow.
And I know I just called her stupid.
Yeah.
But only because I'm bitter.
Yeah, okay.
She woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go play outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're lucky you don't sleep out there the rest of the night. But you know how puppies do. You don't let them out. Game over. We got carpet in the bedroom, too. Ain't trying to have all that.
And no dog doors, especially like in Florida. That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it's just inviting all kinds of snakes and capybaras and whatever comes in from outside.
Sounds like a bad idea.
You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if you knew this. When I first got the puppy, Brian, I made a deal with my wife because I was trying to play the big hand. I was like...
heavy? What are you talking about?
The tough.
Oh, that's
I
what
was
I
sitting
mean?
there. I was like, listen, I don't want this puppy.
Yeah.
I don't want it. So you got to clean all the pee and the poop for a year.
Look at you. I love the way that you put your foot down in that household, man.
Well,
when I finally meet your wife, I'm going to be like, first of all, I respect Aaron so much, man. Because you know what? Hey, man, he pulled you. But secondly, the way that you listen to his direction, hook, line, sinker.
You know what I mean?
Line by line.
I'm just telling her how to live. She's like, yes, sir. What else can I do?
Yes, master even, huh?
Easy.
Curtsy and bow. Kiss the ring. Don't look me in my eye.
Not comfortable with that at all.
Aaron Schachter.
The point is the dog's older than a year now. So I'm on the hook, Brian.
That ain't no puppy, is it? A puppy's a year under, right?
I thought a puppy was 3 and under.
3 years?
That's because his dog continues to teeth and bite everything, and it's like, enough already.
I thought dogs were like 7 years to 1 human year. That dog's about near college age.
That's what they tell 7-year-olds to explain to them how dogs die at 14. It's not actually how it works.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the maths, actually.
A little
7
bit
times 14. Actually, that's like...
It's old.
Way up there, yeah.
It's old. It's 98 years old.
Oh, look at you.
wanna do
Okay,
the
math major.
Okay, look, I got degrees,
math
bro.
major.
I got degrees. I got 2 of them. One of them was a 2-year, but I got 2 of them.
So hold on. Let's back up. So your dog is peeing and pooping, and you're telling your wife, hey, get on it.
That's not how it worked.
Oh, that's how I tell
they
people.
were begging for the puppy, and I was like, all right, I'll make a deal. My wife taught me this because my wife used to be a salesperson right here at the radio station.
One of the best.
And then you know how I do. I picked her out from the crowd. I was like, you want to be lucky enough to marry the Schachter?
Ooh, talk that talk, young boy. Talk that talk. They don't know about you around here, man.
They don't know.
You gotta let them know sometimes, man.
I'm trying.
Well, you don't play the radio around here, man. Stop playing with him. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So she taught me, though. She's like, everything is negotiable. And sometimes When it's used on me, it gets really annoying. But sometimes when it's used in my favor, I love it.
Wait a minute. You're so good at this now. You can tell when she's trying to use it on you.
You don't got to be good at it. You just got to. What happens is you think you're in a conversation until you realize you just got worked. And then you're like, oh, this was a negotiation and I lost.
Now I got to get you back. Now I got to plot my get back.
It's not how business works.
It absolutely is.
You got to put it behind you.
No, absolutely not. We can be business partners in the future.
Okay.
But no. I'm going to get don't you worry about it. I'm going to get over on you.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's how it works in business. It's not how it works in marriages. Trust me, I've been through a few. It's kind of tough.
You're also mature.
Oh.
Right. You know what I mean?
Is that code word for old?
No, like your emotions, the way that you handle yourself in a relationship.
Listen, man. We have become friends over the last couple of years, I would say. But
I thought you were going to say weeks. I was like, that's wild.
Mature emotions is not something I would use to describe me. Not even close.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. I literally had to apologize to my son over the weekend. I had one of these non-abusive but abusive moments.
Okay.
Listen. He wasn't listening to me. I'm trying to tell him he's got to eat. We got to get out of the house. He's not listening to me. He wants to play with the toys at the table. I'm like, look, man, no toys at the table.
Yeah.
Eat your lunch.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing it. He's not listening. So I took the toy and I threw it across the room.
He's so extra. That's the right answer.
It was a little toy car. It wasn't a thing. Like I threw it off the table and it ended up flying across the room and it did end up breaking.
I was going to ask you, was it solidly made like a Hot Wheel?
No, this was like a McDonald's toy,
no.
a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah, boy.
You know how those are.
Yeah, made in Indonesia.
Oh, my goodness.
It's over with.
It's got the toughness of a Nick Foles clavicle bone.
That's crazy. Very specific, by the way.
Yeah.
How do you measure that? Okay. Jeez, Aaron.
So I did this, and immediately I knew I made a mistake. I look over at my son. It looked like I just ran over his puppy or something. I was like, oh, man.
There you go with the puppy stuff again.
This is going to end up as like a big-time trauma in his life or something.
You think so?
10 years from now, he's going to be on some couch with some doctor trying to shove meds in his face, and he's going to be like, well, if my dad didn't throw the stupid McDonald's toy across the room, we wouldn't even be here.
Okay.
So I said to him, I was like, look, I shouldn't have done that. That was not the right thing to do. I'm dad. I should be more mature than that. But listen, you want to trigger me? You want to get me real angry? Make sure you ignore the things I'm telling you when it's time to listen.
Exactly. Lesson learned. I bet you them toys will be out the way next time he don't want to listen. I bet you that's a lesson he did learn.
You must not know little kids then.
No toys will be in my parents' reach when I don't want to listen.
When you have little kids, you can teach them lessons as long as you accept that they will forget those lessons in 25, 30 minutes. You know, I once actually heard one of these Instagram influencers say it in a way that I really loved. It's not like you have to remind them constantly. You have to be the part of their brain that's not developed yet in that decision making.
I get that part, but how you get them to understand, hey, listen, there's an order to the way this relationship works. Again, this is me speaking as someone who has no experience to somebody who has so much more experience to me. So I know I sound crazy to you.
So much more experience.
I sound crazy to you right now.
Just idealistic. Very much like young people sound. Yeah, young people enter the career market. I literally had one of these meetings yesterday where we get a new employee here, and the higher-ups here love to throw new employees in my office, go talk to this guy.
Oh, we got a new employee.
Yeah. Look at us hiring. So they like to throw new employees at me. I've been here 22 years. And I've had 14 different roles over 22 years.
Yeah, you've been
just with you, I've had 2 or 3 different roles.
And he hired me, everybody.
So
literally,
I'm sitting here going, if they want to talk, if the higher ups want the young folks that they hire or anyone that they hire to talk to someone who can help them figure out longevity or maybe some value, you know what I mean? Then go ahead, send them to Schachter, and I'll give them a long speech about how it's been the last 22 years. That's not the point. Is I just.
You gonna be all right?
No, I'm not gonna be okay.
Well, let me ADHD off of that while you're figuring out how to get okay. I'm sending somebody else your way. Actually, I told them last week. I was like, hey, this is who you talk to. If I were you 5 years ago coming into here, these are the 3 people that I talk to and get in their face and do it like 2 or 3 times a year. Specifically, like you can bump into them at events or whatnot, but schedule 15, 30 minutes and be like, I'm going to be in your face because I want your feedback. Yeah. And you were one of the 3 people.
I love that you bring that. Thank you so much. That's a compliment. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that you bring this up because I was thinking about this topic in reference to the Jaguars a little earlier today. Feel me on this. I was thinking about Mac Jones, or as you like to call him, McCorkle.
Yeah, man.
Because you love the name.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fine. It is a fun name.
I'll go by Mac too, but it's a great name.
I mean, anytime you got more than 3 or 4 syllables, you have to, as like a service to everybody else, shorten it up.
Yeah, can you imagine if he wasn't a star quarterback in like high school? Oh.
No. Well, if he was like an accountant or something, he would be McCorkle.
He'd be eating too.
He wouldn't be Mac.
Yeah. I'm just saying it might have been a bit tougher in high school.
If he's underwriting insurance policies, go see our coworker, my colleague McCorkle Jones over there will write you the insurance policy.
I'll be like, that sounds like he costs too much. I don't know. That many syllables? I'm good. You got a Mac there?
Nope.
Less expensive.
Yeah, Mac sounds like the guy you went to high school with who got the job because he's friendly, not because he's good with a calculator.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? I'm just saying. The name Mac is very informal.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was thinking about McCorkle and his time here at the Jaguars, right? You leave the Patriots, and you really have like a reclamation project underway there, where whatever shine he had coming out of Alabama was lost based on the last couple of years in New England. And so he ends up with Jacksonville in the offseason, and you go, all right, well, this could be beneficial for a few reasons. Number one, hometown cooking. Everything is easier, more palatable. You have better support when you're closer to home, period. You even have the fans in your corner more quickly. Without even stepping on the field, you become a fan favorite because you're from here.
Yeah.
Or at least lived here at some point. It's not everyone who played high school football here is actually a Duval till we die guy, but that's fine. Shout out to the Jones family. That being said, Mac comes to Jacksonville, and then if you look at the franchise and the setup, you go, this could be good for him. He's not going to start over Trevor organically. But Trevor has gotten banged up the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be an opportunity to pick up a couple of games, which McCorkle would be interested in because he wants to build that tape. And you get to play under Doug Peterson, which when the season started, I think was thought of as a benefit.
Absolutely.
A plus.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone's still on board with that. I think I still am, if I'm being honest about it. Like, you're not seeing it on the field. But I don't think it's fair to question this guy's ability to teach young quarterbacks, having played quarterback, gone through a career in the NFL, become a coach. Like, that's good knowledge, whether you're successful at being a head coach or not.
Mm-hmm.
The issue, though, for young McCorkle with the reclamation project is that now he's getting on the field. Not only is he getting on the field in the gauntlet, but he's getting on the field with reduced protection on the offensive line, already being rusty or unsure of himself, and that's me speculating. He actually spoke to that in his press conference. We'll hear from him in a little bit. But I'm looking at it going, okay, it seemed like a good idea for McCorkle when the signing happened.
Right.
I don't know how good idea it is for him now. He could end up doing more damage to the reputation, marching himself out there to the tune of 4 to 5 sacks and a couple of interceptions against the Lions.
Yeah.
And suddenly you get to the offseason, you go, the only opportunity I had to get on tape, they weren't real opportunities. I was down 2 wide receivers. I was down 2 or 3 linemen.
I think that can play in his favor, though, Aaron. That can play in his favor.
Tell him, please. Tell both of us.
No. Like, the point you made, accurate, I agree with. But if he can not have overwhelming success, but if he can play decent enough, it's almost the same energy that a lot of people had after, the game this past week where Trevor wasn't in there and the offense for Mac Jones looks wild. And you're like, oh, Trevor, the numbers may not look great, but we think it would have a little bit better.
You see the value.
And so if he can put on tape that, hey, I can still hit some throws, even if the Jags don't win games, even if the Jags are still losing by at least 14 points, but he looks decent enough with all of those things, all of those pitfalls around him, doesn't have the same amount of blocking that they thought that whoever was quarterback would have at the beginning of the season. You don't have the same wide receiving core that you thought you'd have at the beginning of the season. Yet still, he can hit BTJ when he's not being triple covered and cloud covered. He can hit Tim Jones if Tim Jones is not just playing special teams. Evan Ingram I can hit certain guys. I can make some right decisions. that would be enough, I think, for at least one NFL team could potentially look at it and be like, hey, man, all right, let's see what you can do. We'll bring you in.
I'm not saying it's impossible that he shines during his time. I'm just saying, out of all the games that this team was playing this year, if you look at the stretch of schedule, that would be the least beneficial for Mac Jones to be on the field for.
True.
We're here.
Yep. It's right here.
We are
It's
here.
the pinnacle. It's the crescendo right here.
We are here. And so previous to this week, we heard a lot about, well, is Trevor getting surgery? He should shut it down. The Jags stink. They're not going to make the playoffs. Why are we putting Trevor back out there and risking his life?
Mac, you go. Jeez, man.
That really was the talk. But now the talk has shifted, specifically while we were out for 2 days, to basically, all right, the expectation is that the Lions do the work on the Jags this weekend, and the Jags go into the bye week licking their wounds and come out the other side with Trev under center. But I guess time will tell on that one, right? Because if I'm Trevor, I get the people telling me to shut it down, but you know this, man. You've seen him now for 3 or 4 years. How long has it been? 4 years?
He's in his 4th year.
Oh, 4 years. You've seen him now over 4 seasons. You know the kind of guy he is. You know there are certain things he's never going to do. He's never going to throw a teammate under the bus on purpose. He's never not going to take ownership of whatever criticism he's receiving. And he's never going to sit on the bench when he can be out on the field. I don't care what kind of game it is. Unless, of course, it's the end of the game. The team's getting blown out. I think he accepts that as regular. What I mean is if the dude is injured but can play, you're going to see him fight to play, whether the team is in it or not. And so I wonder if that's a good or bad thing for young McCorkle.
Sounds crazy. Well, it'd be a bad thing if Trevor comes back then.
Well, because he's not on the field. Yeah, but could it be a good thing because you kind of stem the bleeding from this schedule, this portion of the schedule, and then maybe later on in the year they let Mac get in there for a game?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's an area. That's cool.
I mean, once the Jags have locked in the number 1 pick, why don't you do the high? I mean, have him out there on every 3rd and 4th down, whatever you want to do with it. I don't care.
Rock, paper, scissors on the sideline.
Sure,
Trev.
Why not? Works for the defense.
You know what I mean? Who's going out there calling the plays? Hey, Aaron, listen, I think that it may be one of those things where a lot of people wouldn't agree because they said, you know what, you didn't play at the high enough level, or you don't have that kind of competitive nature. Maybe I don't. But sometimes people got to save people from themselves. They got to have a macro point of view. Pun intended.
I was going to say, nice job
there. With a macro
there.
point of view.
Like a black belt level wordplay.
I've been, going to the Aaron Schachter dojo for nearly a year. About 2 months. Okay. Hi-ya, huh?
No,
okay.
That's what karate guys say, right?
Trevor, you don't want to shut it down. That's fine. I get you don't want to shut it down. You could get injured at any point in time. Listen, man, this ain't it. We going to save you from yourself. We going to keep some tread on the tires or some cartilage in the joint. I don't know what's in that particular area that's injured right now. But we're gonna go ahead and not do any more damage. You could say trust in the process. You could say load management. But you are clearly hurt. You were hurt enough not to play last week. Scam likely, phone calls, man. Someone sold my stuff on the dark web, man. I got to be real with you. Someone said, Alyssa, this is your phone number, right? I was like, Alyssa? First of all, is she cute? Because if it is,
you got on the scams.
Yeah, I'm on Scam Likely now.
People don't understand. You just glance down at your phone. I think they were listening to your salient point on Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, and like, what is happening?
Scam? Did I say? Yeah, I said someone was a scam.
I almost thought you were talking about the Jaguars scamming the quarterbacks. I was like,
that'd been a good.
Brian's throwing heaters today.
Anyway, my point is, hey, I am on the side of I am okay if Trevor says, you know what, I do want to go ahead and get the surgery. It sucks. It would kill somebody, Aaron. You're right. Like Trevor, he had the long streak of just like not missing any games, and even from his time back in Clemson, and like he wants to be on the field. We don't doubt his competitive nature at all, no matter how the season is looking. But in the bigger point of view, let's go ahead and shut it down. Heal up. Let somebody else take those shots. And, maybe it does turn around a little bit. Matt gets more tape, whatever you want to call it, to cope and ease with the fact that Trevor wouldn't be on the field. But I'd be totally fine if someone saved Trevor from himself if he was fighting to get back on that field even after a bye week.
All right. Well, a couple of other things that grabbed my eye before we move on, get to the break, come back with some press conference audio, and discuss some of the things that have been said recently. First and foremost, Brian, What if we lived in a topsy-turvy world? Remember when you were a kid, you'd be like, hey, it's opposite day?
Yeah.
All right. Imagine if it was opposite day in the NFL standings. Not reversing just wins and losses. But what if every one-possession NFL game, like the final score in every one-score game result, was flipped and the opposite result happened? How weird would that look? Well, you'd have the Bengals in first place with an 8-2 record. You'd have Denver in the 2 seed with an 8-2 record. More AFC teams, you'd have Buffalo in the 4 seed, 6-4 record. Chargers at the 5, Baltimore at the 6, despite seeming like they're headed back to the Super Bowl right now. They'd be at the 6 with a 6-4 record. Pittsburgh still in the playoffs with a 5-4 record. What if I told you the Jets still missed the playoffs in this scenario?
Hey, man, you got to love the consistency, man. Aaron Rodgers said no matter what.
What about the rest of the AFC South? You got Indy at 5-5 on the outside looking in. Tennessee at 4-5 on the outside looking in. Houston at 4-6 on the outside looking in. And don't look now.
Yeah, boy.
But in this make-believe world, your Jacksonville Jaguars with young William Trevor Lawrence and McCorkle Jones both playing quarterback at the same time are 7-3.
Yeah.
In the 3rd seed.
To this day.
I'm not playing with y'all around here in this alternate universe.
Picking at the back of the draft. Act like you've been here before, Brian.
To this day.
Opposite day universe in the NFL.
Jets still can't make the playoffs. What about the Panthers? Can they make the playoffs, Brian?
I don't.
Unfortunately, Brian, they are still in dead last
smoked,
at
right?
1-9.
Yeah, they've gotten smoked.
Every game, except for one.
So
Way
they
to
want
go.
to stay in this universe.
Yeah.
3 wins. More than the Jags.
Shout out to the Jaguars on opposite day, running off with the 3rd seed. You guys earned it. Aaron Schachter Show, taking a quick break. Coming back to your phone calls. 904-362-9901, as well as press conferences from Doug Peterson and one young McCorkle Jones right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A warm one today under partly sunny skies, highs in the low 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight with a brief overnight shower down into the upper 50s. And cooler temperatures finally tomorrow. We start out with some clouds, then sunshine and breezy with highs in the low 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's 44th anniversary sale with everything store-wide on sale up to 44% off.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The Sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey guys, it's Aaron from the Aaron Schachter Show. And don't mind me, I've just been sitting here absolutely destroying every lineup I've set for Jaguars-Lions this weekend. We got the news yesterday. Trevor Lawrence won't be playing, but even though Prize Picks has that injury insurance policy, my lineup could stay in play even if one of my players gets injured and leaves in the first half and doesn't return. It doesn't apply to someone who never played the game to begin with. That being said, you don't need exactly all of your picks to come in for you to grab the money. They've actually got a flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can actually still literally double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. And then withdrawing that money is fast and safe and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes from Prize Picks. Listen, download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
If you needed one more reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler, get this. Diamonds Direct maintains involvement in the entire diamond process and handpicks the best just for you. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but Diamonds Direct has special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're true talking direct importer prices on hand-selected diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds. And we challenge you, let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. Official jeweler of the Jacksonville Jaguars and proud to call Jack's home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
A local Sunday church service stopped after a man drops dead.
I had no breath and no heartbeat for 8 minutes.
Then brought back to life.
Do you believe that you were raised from the dead?
Action News Jax shares the miraculous story.
That was my first time giving CPR.
We can maybe shock him and get him back.
And the reunion with his heroes for the first time.
Thank you.
Dead Man Walking, today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Having someone to talk to can change a life.
Cried out to her, she listened to me, she talked me through my depression.
Or even save a life.
I probably wouldn't be here at all, not only in this room, but just not here at all, if I didn't have the help.
If you need someone to talk to, the LJD Jewish Family and Community Services is here with in-person trained counselors or through teletherapy. JFCS is here for Jax. Visit jfcsjax.org.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine and More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Connect with us on Facebook.
What do you mean by that?
Search for @ESPN690Jax and check out the latest sports news, live stream, or show clip.
Now we talking.
ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Just doing a little bit of math. We got Ducky Bets joining the show later on in the 4 p.m. hour, talking about the betting action for the weekend.
Big Mallard. Big Duck.
Another 3-1 week for your boy Aaron.
Big Quack.
2-2 for you, Brian.
That's crazy. I thought I went 3-1, but you're right.
2-2, and Duck went 2-2. I'll give you all the records and stuff after the fact. Hey, I thought I heard Sports Freak asking if she was on the camera behind you. Is that because she doesn't want people to know she's in there?
Now, see, you starting.
Me?
Yeah, you
I was just curious. I was left out of the loop.
Yeah. She wants to be hidden. No evidence. No face, no case.
Michelle Thibodeau doesn't want anyone to know she's in the studio right now?
First and last name.
I'm just checking.
Okay. First and last name.
Okay.
Any idea where she works at in the building?
Or what the social security number is? I'll tell you by her age, I think it's like 4 or 5. Huh? What happened?
Oh. Let me pull up this YouTube chat, by the way. Oh, boy, man.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, you guys.
Brian, you seem very uncomfortable.
No, it's not. I missed the back and forth when it was legal to do so.
Doesn't sound like back and forth to me.
No, it's not.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Hey, Doug Peterson had a press conference today.
Oh, did he?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
I think he had it yesterday.
That is true. It is.
But we did not get to play the audio and react to it. And there were some reactable things happening. So first and foremost, he spoke on Ezra Cleveland, Mason Smith. He said they should be getting back to practice on a limited basis yesterday. So that did happen. Brian, confirming with you, making sure.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Detroit Lions' successful rebuild? I thought was an interesting question to ask Doug yesterday for multiple reasons. But we are seeing a lot of this week in Jaguars media. a lot of people because we're playing the Lions. Remember, it was just 2 years ago. Both of these teams were thought to be equivalents to each other.
Yeah. Yes.
Hotshot young quarterbacks, hot-to-trot coaches, high-powered offenses, defenses that were starting to kick it into gear. Then the great separation happened. Don't ask me what or how. I think a couple of different publications have speculated on how that worked. But let's go right to the source. Dougie P., you've been watching this whole time. Thoughts on the Lions' successful rebuild?
I mean, I go back to probably the early, Jimmy Johnson days with the Cowboys, right? I mean, he took over a franchise that was 1-15 or 0-15, 0-16, something like that. And
just like Doug did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he must be talking about himself here. Hold on.
0-16, something like that, and within 4 years, they're competing for championships, and obviously they've done things well there. They draft well, free agents have.
Do you think as he's answering this question, he's thinking to himself, "Oh man, I meant to start describing the Lions, but this may not be a good look for me right now"?
I think that he was processing in real time how to not look crazy while bigging up the Detroit Lions.
So far, no good.
They draft well. Free agents have all been a big part of it. It's the more success you have, he's going to lose coaches. He's going to bring new coaches in. Faces are going to change, but I think there's just.
I don't know. Did he lose Ben Johnson last year over in Detroit?
No.
Did he lose Aaron Glenn? Mark Brunell? Did he hightail it out of there?
No.
Huh. Weird.
Coaches in, faces are going to change, but I think there's just the one thing that I think when you look at Dan and really the teams that have had success, it's consistency. It's just.
Brian. They said to the dude, "Hey, man, let's get your thoughts on the rebuild." And Doug goes, "The most important part, no matter what, is you don't fire the head coach after the fourth year." He goes, "Above all else, sure, they've drafted good. Sure, they went out and got free agents that actually play and play well.
Yeah.
Sure, you've seen success there. Sure, they were 1-15 or 0-16 4 years ago.
Yeah, man.
But the most important thing, please don't fire me at the end of the year."
And really, teams that have had success, it's consistency. It's just doing the same things every single day,
Unless those things are losing. And then you actually don't want to be consistent. You want to be inconsistent with your ability to lose. Of course, that's what the dumb people in the room think, Doug. Go ahead, tell us.
Doing the same things every single day, Message is the same. The guys work the same. And the players buy in. And then when you win, because I've been on that side of it, when you win, everything's great, right? Everything is, it's not easy, but it feels easy. And that's probably where they are right now.
How would he know?
I'm about to say probably because
really?
You can't tell from what we're doing.
Technically, he does have firsthand knowledge from his days in Philly. He would know from the Super Bowl year. When you win, everyone is happy with you, obviously. But Detroit, they're a franchise with a real identity. We've all seen it over multiple years now.
It feels like the same year where those correlations started happening, both teams went 9-8. I remember that now.
Yeah, and both coaches were in contention for Coach of the Year.
And it again, this is me being over and extra, but it feels like the worst thing that happened to the Jags was to get into the playoffs and to win that playoff game. Detroit.
You're saying it's the worst thing because it raised expectations? Why are you saying it's the worst thing?
I think it's the worst thing, or right up there, because we felt like, hey, we are a piece or two away.
Well, we were ahead of schedule.
Hey, the play calling is not an issue. Like we're going to be building in the right direction.
Accurate.
I mean, until it wasn't.
Right.
And again, I don't follow Detroit close enough to know what changes they made from the 9-8 year to the following year.
Well, let's not even sweat that. Talk about the Jaguars, because no changes were made from 9-8 to the following year. The big change there were injuries throughout the entire season.
Well, yeah, but if there were no changes made with Detroit, and even with missing the playoffs, any major changes, then my point is invalid.
They did make some changes. They ended up drafting a wide receiver. They padded that offensive line a little more. They picked up a starter in the secondary with their draft picks. They got a big-time running back out of the draft. That same draft, they were ridiculed for drafting a linebacker in the first round. He ends up being pretty decent. Aiden Hutchinson hits. You know, you don't have to wait a long time for it to happen either with this specific draft pick. That's not normally the case with pass rushing guys straight out of the draft. So I think a lot of things did have to go right for them in ways that they don't often go right for everybody. But that being said, if you look at what the Jaguars did, back to your point, they didn't change anything off of 9 and 8. They added around the fringes. They filled in the holes a little bit. But the expectation was that literally everyone on this roster was ascending, with the exception of Marvin Jones Jr., which is why they cast him asunder and brought in Calvin Ridley.
And honestly, yeah, I hate to relive it. I guess it did work for a while, even when it didn't look great.
Yeah, 8-3 is not bad.
It's not bad.
You kill for 8-3 right now.
Oh,
not the case.
Yeah, that's depressing.
But hey, back to Detroit, because they're getting it done, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like, how beneficial is it to have the identity and then be able to build around that? That was the follow-up question, or one of the questions in this press conference, where they start talking about why they think Detroit is so much of a cooler story than Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not in that building, but I think it's what every team strives to do. Everybody has a plan, and you stick to that plan. Sometimes it doesn't always come to fruition, but you have a plan, needless, and they've done it well, obviously, and they made some good trades over the years, and obviously Goff was a big acquisition, and they've done well.
All right, here's my beef with this answer. It might be ticky-tacky. You tell me if I'm nitpicking here.
Okay.
It feels like Doug is implying that the downfall here wasn't because the plan was bad or wrong. It was because in Detroit, the plan worked out well, and here, the plan did not work out well. Well, what's the difference there? When the plan doesn't work out well, what's the difference? It's a bad plan. Something's not working. You're going to stay employed by this team while everyone watches the plan not work? And then every week in the press conference, we're like, well, what do we have to do to change it? And the answer every week is players have to execute, or something along those lines. I mean, we don't need much more convincing after this, do we?
Yeah, because if the plan isn't the issue, if you're saying the plan is not the issue, then I guess you got to start looking at the people involved with the plan.
You got to fire everybody. You got to fire everybody.
Jeez, you just
that's what it feels like.
A nuclear bomb, huh? You just like everybody, huh?
Look, you don't remember in the offseason, the question was, is Trent going to be back? Is it time to get rid of Trent? And then what we heard was this unified front, whether it was authentic or not, with Doug and Trent.
Yeah.
They had a press conference together. We heard stories about it.
Was this the passing gas unified front, or was that was a different one?
It was, I think, the press conference we're talking about.
All right.
But, the guys came out there to do the post-mortem on the season and to preview the off-season. And Trent's like, no, we're on the same page, man. Doug's like, no, we're on the same page. You then can't tell the story during the season that they're not. And a few people are right now.
Yeah.
A few people at a few different media outlets want to talk about how Doug and Trent aren't on the same page. Unacceptable. Hogwash. That's on them. It's on both of them. If neither one of them stands up at the beginning of the season and goes, I know what we just said into microphones, hey, Shad, this ain't the thing. This isn't a good idea. Then they both have to go. Speaking of going, this is just mere speculation, because I'm not trying to dox anybody. I'm not trying to spill secrets. I'm not trying to talk out of turn here. I saw a tweet claiming Press Taylor put his house up for sale. I don't know Press Taylor's address. I'm not trying to find it out. That's not what we're doing here. But then someone in the comment thread claimed to know the address.
Oh, no.
And posted a link to Zillow.
That's what I was going to go, be honest with you.
And I'm sitting here going, okay, if it's accurate, Press Taylor's got a nice looking house, man. Jeez.
How much they paying you for these losses?
Press Taylor sitting in a $2.175 million
Good for him.
house. Come on.
Hey, I don't care what inadequacies he brings. Good for him. $2.1 million?
I tell you what, in the bedroom, he better have a big 12 by 12 oil painting of Doug Peterson's face. Because this day, Doug is the reason this man is living in this palatial estate twice over.
Yeah.
Now, this entry, I don't know if it's presses. It does say it's under contract.
Oh, okay. What's that mean?
That means
it's not for sale.
There's an agreement in principle to sell the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Zillow, they wouldn't have that on there.
So it basically means not only was the house for sale, but there's a deal in place, barring some kind of weird thing happening with the financing. Here's the only issue with the address that may or may not be presses that I'm looking at. It's been on the market 114 days. It's been on the market 114 days. And if anything tells you that this is Press Taylor's house, it being on the market 114 days will tell you this is Press Taylor's house. Man, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3,913 square feet.
Ooh. Huh? Ooh.
Built very recently, 2017, on a half acre. Like I said, over 100 days on Zillow. But, you know, the expensive houses are having a hard time moving right
That's
now.
like next to your house, man. That's what that sounds like.
My house is a little bigger than this. Market's a little soft.
Or is it?
Market's a little soft.
Been looking for your second house, huh?
I'm just saying, if you're looking for a house with 4 full bathrooms and 1 half bathroom, Market's a little bit soft. But don't worry, for $2.175, you do get dishwasher, garbage disposal.
But one of them now.
A dryer. Oh, he's got the gas cooktop. That's the fancy kitchen now.
Yeah, man, with a flat. Is it a flat top too there?
And the gas range,
Beautiful.
Yeah. Ice maker. A guest suite.
I feel like you can get that at a regular
Something
house.
for a lot less. Yep,
No,
sure.
Not guest suite. My bad. No.
1 fireplace, I feel like $2 million. You could probably, spring for a second fireplace, maybe in the bedroom.
Hey, we don't need no fireplaces in the bedroom.
You want to guess on this quarterly HOA fee? For all the folks out there living with the HOA, and you think you got it rough, I'm telling you, I live in a neighborhood with an HOA, and even though I'm sure they do great work on behalf of us, the residents,
you don't know what they do.
Everyone hates them. It's very much like the tax man. You're just throwing money at something you can't see, but they're quick to come around and, give you a notice for weeds in your yard or the garbage cans out front, right?
Man.
The HOA on this address, which may or may not be Press Taylor's, the fee is $1,450 every quarter.
Man, hell no.
Every quarter. Is she really talking into a microphone, into the thin air with no microphone behind you?
Yeah. She says it's because they have security.
Man, hell no.
Well, let's be insecure. Insecure. Unsecure?
Insecure.
Let's be not secure. Take the gate down.
Tell you, being on the market 114 days. It's a little telling right there. I think we may have found it. Back in a minute on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901 on ESPN 690.
If it's Saturday on ESPN 690, then you know we have you covered when it comes to big-time college football. Our early game sees the Big 12 kick things off when Shedeur Sanders and the 18th-ranked Colorado Buffaloes welcome the Utah Utes to Boulder. Coverage for the game starts at 11:30 a.m. And in our primetime slot, 2 SEC squads fight for playoff position when number 6 Tennessee heads out to Athens to take on 11th-ranked Georgia. Saturdays on ESPN 690 means the best football around. ESPN 690, your home for college football.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmitt Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play. run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial *invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Jasmine is Northeast Florida's only youth center for LGBTQ+ teens and young adults, and for nearly 29 years has worked to help the community be a more welcoming place for our young people, offering mental health programs, peer counseling, family time, HIV testing and prevention, and a front door to homeless youth. Jasmine continues to be the safe space our LGBTQ+ young people need as they navigate this tumultuous time in their lives. Although progress has been made, our work is still necessary to reach the ultimate goal, equality and human rights for all. Partner to support our LGBTQ+ teens and young adults. Visit jasmine.org today.
Hey, you.
What's good, my boy?
Connect with us on Instagram. Search for @ESPN 690 Jax and check out the latest sports news. We're ESPN 690.
What?
We are ESPN 690.
Just as long as we tracking.
Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Don't forget tonight, Thursday Night Football, Commanders at Eagles. We got it right here on ESPN 690. Coverage begins at 7:30. Lots of action happening. Of course, the various sports betting apps have all the info. Speaking of which, Brian, Prize Picks just signed on to be partners here at the Aaron Schachter Show. Shout out to Prize Picks.
Shout out to Prize Picks.
I was going through the app, looking at some of the NFL action. I realized they got Mike Tyson, Jake Paul action for tomorrow.
All right now.
And I'm like, okay, I got to put a couple down over here, a couple of shekels over here, sprinkle a little bit over here. I got a promo bet in there. I think the ticket comes in if Tyson lands one punch. It's a little promo. You can throw down on that. Yeah. Just to get you started. They like to throw a little promo in there. Make it a little spicy.
I like it.
Hit him with the spice ball. That's my barber guy on TikTok.
No, I was looking down to see the hotkey levels go.
Nah, I don't have it.
I thought you didn't make the hotkey?
Not yet. We're getting there. We're getting
incredible
there.
that was the moment right there.
I apologize.
I didn't apologize to me. That's your moment that you missed out on, man.
I'm sorry.
That being said, I like that little promo, back and forth with Prize Picks.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sure. You could do their projections for Tyson, Jake Paul. It's first of all, they do fantasy boxing. I've never played any of that, but
I walk me through that.
I might be into it. So basically, you get points for punches landed, you get points for knockouts, and then if you get knocked out, you lose points. And then if you win Rounds 1 through 3, you get assigned a certain amount of points. Rounds 4 through 6, a higher amount of points. Rounds 7 through 9, a higher amount of points. And 10 through 12, the highest amount of points. So it's not a large scoring chart.
Okay.
But you have projections on boxing fantasy points, higher or lower for both Tyson and Paul. You have projections on punches landed, higher or lower for Tyson and Paul. And by the way, Mike Tyson's projection, a bit lower than Jake Paul's.
Wow.
And then you've got total fight time. So the rounds are shortened 2 minutes. Tyson insisted on that stipulation because he's older. He's almost 60.
About 60. Yeah, I'm about to say, man.
But 2 minute rounds, the projection on the time spent fighting is like 11 and a half minutes.
You ever boxed before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to be real with you. I never realized how long 3 minutes could be.
I mean, I think you feel it extra because you're really gassed in the first 30 seconds. Like you go in hot to trot because you're about to get hit. You got all this kind of adrenaline running through your body. And then like you get hit a few times and you realize, all right, we're in this. Everything's fine. But you're still amped up.
Yeah.
You're still huffing and puffing.
I'm waiting to hear that. That ain't coming. It's still, hey, man, how long we been up here, man? I don't hold my arms up.
But 3 minutes is insanely long, especially if you get out there hot and heavy in the first minute. You really do need the next minute and a half to gather yourself before you go for a heavy 30 seconds at the end. But then think about that over the course of 12 separate rounds. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity. It's no wonder these guys get gassed almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I sent you, I don't know how often you're on TikTok. I'll be sending you these videos sometimes. I sent you Tyson doing combo practices. His combo is still faster than my single punch.
Ain't that something?
He's got like a 3-4 punch combo in the blink of an eye. Blink of an eye. And then I saw this piece of content and I was like, all right, they're content creators. I understand what's happening here. But I thought it was a great idea by them. Jake Paul, Logan Paul sitting together. They got Jake Paul strapped to a lie detector. It's not a real one, I don't think.
Okay.
You know, because everything's a work these days.
Yeah.
But still, great idea for content. They got Jake Paul strapped to a lie detector, and Logan Paul is like, do you actually believe you're going to beat Mike Tyson? And he goes, oh, yeah. Then the whole thing turns red like he's lying. I was like, it's great. That's what happens when you're a content creator. You know how to make that content.
Listen, man, Jake Paul, like, I'm about money. Like, I know I'm boxing, you know, for real. Like, I'm boxing, but I'm about getting this money.
I feel like Jake Paul's got a good shot.
Of winning? Yeah,
yes.
He's 27.
And a heavy hitter, bro. He's a big dude.
Yeah. And the guy he's fighting is almost 60.
All right, but he was the best in the world. So even at almost 60.
40 years ago.
Okay, even more than that. Even at almost 60, you're still probably better than almost everybody.
Now, what I will say for Mike is, number one, world-class athlete.
In great shape.
In great shape. And he has old man strength now. And apparently he has the speed. I don't know how long he has that speed, hence the 2-minute round. That old man strength is different, Aaron. That old man strength, I'd be like, yo, man, I cannot open up this Brinks truck with, like, I'm trying, and the old man will walk by and boop. Right
it's like
open.
me. I showed my son old man strength when I threw his toy across the room the other day.
Exactly. So, you know, like that's a dangerous combination. But yeah, Jake Paul has a chance.
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance. I do. I would love to see Mike Tyson win. I think everybody wants to see it, right?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want to see Jake Paul get his face kicked in?
Do you think this is going to just run all the way through? It'll be a
decision.
A draw.
I don't
decision.
know. I don't know.
No, there's not. It might be a knockdown. There ain't gonna be a knockout.
I don't know. You're talking about Mike Tyson, man. I don't think there are too many knockdowns that aren't knockouts.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll say this. One of the videos I ended up sending you was an interview with Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is one of my favorite boxers of all time. I love this dude. Shout out to Tallahassee, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is doing the interview about fighting Mike Tyson, that exhibition fight. And Roy Jones Jr. explains it like this. He goes, that man has pit bull energy. He doesn't know when playing is playing and when it's not playing anymore. That reminds me of my puppy, Piranha Dog.
Yeah.
She loves to play. Well, sometimes her playing means I'm going to lose a finger.
Yeah. There's going to be some blood drawn.
It's like, chill out.
Yeah.
He's I'm not trying to mess with Tyson. And he's going to mess around and throw an uppercut. They asked Roy Jones Jr. if he was going to throw an uppercut. He goes, I'm not trying to give this man any ideas.
That was great. I saw him, and it might have been in the same interview, but Steven Jackson was asking him. No, he said basically, yo, I was scared for you, bro.
Yes.
Roy Jones Jr. said, I was scared too.
I was scared for me too.
And he was not playing around. There was no smile with Roy Jones.
And you're talking about Roy Jones Jr. This dude was pound for pound the best fighter in the world also.
He was a problem.
Literally, yes.
Problem.
Like, both of these men were the best in the world at one point. Roy Jones Jr., though, was the man dancing around the ring, doing the Popeye arm. Come on. Never seen an entertainer like this in the boxing ring.
Try to tell the kids, man. Try to tell the kids. Go back and look at it.
Roy Jones Jr. Love watching that dude. All the tassels flying around.
The one, the fight where he ducks under the dude and shimmies and comes back. I mean, there's been multiple ones, but I'm thinking of one in particular where he boom and he just looks out to the crowd and he goes back to the dude.
One of my favorite Roy Jones Jr. moves. I forget the name of the fighter. It was 2 fights before the Antonio Tarver downfall. But Roy Jones Jr. he pretty much backs himself into the corner, gets his gloves up over his head. He's taking body shots. The other boxer is hitting him in the body, right, left, right, left. Roy Jones Jr., while covering up, looks down at the front row and winks, turns around, and just beats this man's face in. Oh, it was hilarious. You really get clowned by Roy Jones Jr. on national TV.
What a time.
904-362-9901. The Aaron Schachter Show. We'll take a quick break for SportsCenter. Come back with more on the Jaguars and some other NFL news.
A local Sunday church service stopped after a man drops dead.
I had no breath and no heartbeat for 8 minutes.
Then brought back to life.
Do you believe that you were raised from the dead?
Action News Jax shares the miraculous story.
That was my first time giving CPR.
We can maybe shock him and get him back.
And the reunion with his heroes for the first time.
Thank you.
Dead Man Walking, today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth, focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
The Inflation Fighter is back and saving you thousands at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Right now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, just $500 down and $288 a month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma, just $500 down and $388 a month. You also get no payments till January 2025. It's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/save for details.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida, it's Gwendolyn Pierce.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? Oh, I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. That guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. One of our clients, Ryan, said, Mark Spain Real Estate exceeded our expectations by helping us achieve significantly over our asking price. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer will be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Florida State Seminoles football is on ESPN 690.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm
Doug Brown. There are 3 NFL games this week featuring teams with at least 7 wins. That's never happened before by week 11. The first of those games is tonight, the Eagles and Commanders in Philly. ESPN's Sal Palantonio says the Eagles will be focusing on their run game.
They want to try to keep Jaden Daniels and that Cliff Kingsbury offense off the field. And the way to do that is to control the clock, get good field position, stay ahead of the sticks, all that stuff that makes you a consistent offense.
Sal Palantonio on game night. The other 2 games involving teams with at least 7 wins, Ravens at Steelers, Chiefs at Bills. Both of those games on Sunday. The Tampa Bay Rays will play their home games at the Yankee Minor League Complex in Tampa. The timeline to repair Tropicana Field is still uncertain. The Guinness World Record holder as the tallest teenager in the world, 7-foot 9-inch Canadian Olivier Rioux, will redshirt this year for the Florida Gators. If he plays next year, he'll be the tallest player in college basketball history.
Here's one stat that's super simple to remember. Discover automatically doubles the cash back on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. With Discover, you could turn $150 cash back to $300. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Firearm-related injuries are the leading cause of death among children and teens. In our community, the number of patients admitted to Wolfson's Children's Hospital for firearm-related injuries has increased more than 30% since 2021. It's important to know the basics of firearm safety and how to store them unloaded, away from ammo, and locked up. Learn more at go.baptistjacks.com/gun safety.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Yada da da. Da 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 da. Sorry, Brian. I don't have it today.
You sure don't. You sure don't.
Had it sapped out of me.
Okay.
Propane Man checking in on the YouTube feed. Says HOAs are un-American. I feel like it's very American.
I'm about to say, I feel like, if anything.
Very, very American to charge me money for something that a service probably isn't provided for. Name another country where that happens.
Actually, that went a little...
You don't think so?
Just, man, you know.
Listen, when you become an adult, your life gets filled with costs that you don't understand why you have to spend. What am I spending money on here? HOAs make you ask that question sometimes as well.
I believe you.
Man. Hey, tonight, not only do we got Thursday Night Football, Commanders at Eagles, starting at 7:30, but the action doesn't stop there for the week, Brian, because tomorrow we got FSU men's basketball.
Yeah, man.
Playing the Gators, ranked number 20.
3-0 against 3-0, man.
Coverage starts at 5:30. Ooh, just missed it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to say 4:30 and be like, hey, Aaron.
That would be unfortunate because tomorrow we got a banger of a show.
Oh.
Tomorrow we have a celebrity stopping by.
Really?
Celebrity.
Okay, my bad.
TJ Miller in studio, scheduled to appear.
I forgot. You built different. You run with different people, Aaron, than I can even imagine to run with.
So here's the deal. Normally, we're the ones taking the day off, 2 days off. But last time we had a comedian in the studio and we tried to leave on time, He said, "Ha-eh." And we did a little overtime. Shout out to you and Kurtz.
It was more like that.
What, Felipe?
Yeah, man. Funny dude.
So I said to the publicist when we're booking TJ, I was like, hey, you come in for a segment, and if he's feeling the vibe, stay longer. We'll stay as long as he wants to stay.
Okay.
And he goes, sometimes it's hard to make him stop. I said, oh.
It's even better.
It'll be one of those interviews.
Even better.
Cool. So, yeah, tune in tomorrow, 4 o'clock hour. We will have TJ Miller joining the show, scheduled to appear. He's performing this weekend at the Comedy Zone, comedyzone.com if you want tickets. The man performing on the radio right now, though, is one Ducky Bets. Welcome back to the show, Duck.
Oh, yeah, baby. Listen, you guys have a comedian who comes on every week.
We try. It doesn't always work like that. Duck, normally I'm comedian enough, but apparently the ratings disagree with me. So, got to go out and do some of that work.
What up, Big Quack? How you doing, man?
Be a little funnier sometimes, man.
Big Doug, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. How about you?
I can't complain, Big Quack.
Are you
Big
sure
knowledge.
you can't complain, Brian? Because based on your season-long win-loss record, I feel like you could complain a little bit.
It could always be worse. I could be the Jaguars.
That's true.
Okay?
It could
Aaron's
always be
just
worse.
feeling good because he's ahead. That's what it is.
I am very far ahead, relatively speaking, in this very compact standings we've got. For those who don't know, so far this season, we've been picking games. Technically, we pick games in week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10. And here is the record thus far. After going 2-2 last week, Duck, you were still in last place at 15-17.
He's so extra.
Bro, that's 3 weeks in a row the Jags have gotten me. I should have been 3-1 3 weeks in a row.
Now you sound like the Jaguars.
AKA, AKA the garbage time kings, man. They keep killing me.
Well, he's not wrong. It's always a blowout until the end of the game. Brian, you also last week had a 2-2 week. That brings your record to 16-16. Good for second place.
Who did I lose? I mean, like, who did I?
You had picked Washington, who was a 2.5 point favorite over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins by 1.
That's right. They were cheating.
You had picked Arizona, rightfully so, to decimate the New York Jets.
Yeah.
You had picked Detroit to beat Houston, and while that was accurate, they only won by 3. The spread was 3.5. And then you had picked Jacksonville to beat Minnesota or to cover, or Minnesota not to cover, and that's what happened. The game, Minnesota won by 5. The spread was 7, so you got the pick for that one.
Sleep in Detroit, man.
No, you got that one.
No, I didn't get that one.
Not Detroit, yeah. You were 2-2. I went 3-1. Duck, you went 2-2. You nailed Pittsburgh and Houston. You missed on the Jets and Mini. I nailed Pittsburgh, Houston, and Jax. I missed on the Jets. And that brings us to this week. But before we get into the games that I've singled out, Duck, you got anything catching your eye? And follow up, before you even answer, are you sprinkling any love on Tyson versus Jake Paul?
I saw Jake Paul's like minus 200, which is crazy.
You think that's crazy?
Listen, I'm not the biggest boxing guy. Like, I don't watch all the I watch more UFC than boxing, honestly. But this just feels like a spectacle kind of matchup, right? Like it's somebody's going to take a dive at some point. Someone has money on something.
No, I disagree.
So?
No.
You think this is real?
Here's why. Because it's a fully sanctioned fight.
Okay.
Like it's an official fight. It goes on their record. Like it's for real, for real. So if they were to take a dive and it was found out, they would get a lifetime ban.
All right, so then I pick Jake Paul. I can't go on a guy that's 60-something, man. Like,
well, he's not. He's 58, 59.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for clearing that
Listen,
up.
if I was 58 and someone called me 60-something, I'd be throwing a Tyson jab as well.
That's fair. Okay.
All right. No disrespect to Mike Tyson, man.
Yeah,
he's one of the best of all time, honestly.
You better say that. Tyson's going to come knocking on the duck pond. But listen,
I don't want him biting my ear off, bro.
This is why Tyson insisted on 2-minute rounds, because he wants to take it seriously. He's coming for that head.
Then maybe it might go. Then I would say that the proper play here is to go the distance. I don't know what the odds are for that, but if that's what it is, it's 2-minute rounds. You could see this going the distance.
Sure. I was looking at Prize Picks. Their projection for total fight minutes in the fight is 11.5. That would bring us to like 5.5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So you see where the projections are. I forget if it's a 10 or 12. I got to imagine it's a 12 if it's a heavyweight. But I guess
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, you do that. In the meantime, I'm sitting here going, everyone is down on Jake Paul. And as much as I want to see him get his butt kicked, I feel like he's going to prove something. He's done pretty well throughout his entire professional career. He's got a decent record. Big dude, throws a haymaker. I grew up in the late 80s and the 90s, so like Tyson is just, it takes on a different air. It's a different thing altogether. You're talking about a dude who back in the day, Brian, people would spend $60, $70 on a pay-per-view. And really back then, there were only two things people were buying pay-per-views for.
Okay.
It was WrestleMania.
And
it was Tyson fights. That was basically it.
It's crazy.
And then people would complain because you'd blow $60, $70 on a pay-per-view, which back in 1988 was a little chunk of change. It's like spending $150 on a fight, and it'd be over in 35 seconds.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I was -4 in 1988.
Way to go, Doc. It's just the fights were...
Fight to go the distance, by the way, plus 135 to go the distance.
All right, that's not bad.
Wow.
Not bad value.
That's actually a pretty good bet. Plus 135. I took the over the projection on Tyson's punches landed in Prize Picks. I took the under on Jake Paul punches landed. They've got him projected to land more punches, Jake Paul. And I'm like, Tyson is fast. He's got underrated defense. Sneaky fast. And if you get in close enough, it's lights out.
See, and that's where I think that you got to be careful where you're placing whatever bet. Like, 35 years, the junior, I'm going to give the speed, maybe not the power aspect because it's Tyson, but the speed, I got to give it to the 20-year-old, even though it's Mike Tyson.
I would almost give the speed to Tyson still. I would give the stamina to Jake Paul. I would give the chin probably to Jake Paul because even if Tyson's chin is still iron, he's got a 59-year-old brain up there in that skull. It's been knocked around a bunch. Let's not pretend like he hasn't had a concussion or 17. So
is he like Tua or something?
Well, he's a boxer, quite frankly. You tell me a boxer that ages gracefully. Doesn't exist. And so I'm sitting there going, all right, well, if anyone's got the edge over anywhere, Jake Paul's got the edge maybe in vision and clarity, in conditioning. But speed and power, I still think you got to go Tyson on that one. Anyway, all right, I don't want to make this all about Tyson and Jake Paul. I'm enamored with this fight. I'm obsessed. And I'm so excited it's on Netflix. The only thing I don't love is that it's probably going to get started at like 11 p.m. I'll have been asleep for 3 hours already. Crazy. Duck, what are you looking at this week on the schedule?
So the game that intrigues me, obviously, and all of us the most is probably that Chiefs-Bills game. But in terms of prop betting, the one thing that really, really stuck out to me for this week, and we're going to talk on this game in a little bit, is that Steelers-Ravens game. So I have circled here Justin Tucker. I like the value on his props to go over.
Over 1.5, or do they have him on an increased kicker prop?
No, he's at 1.5 for if you're just looking for field goals made. If you're looking at kicking points, you're looking at 7.5, which I still like both of those. I would take either one of those, honestly. And the line is pretty good. So yeah, Steelers are top 5 red zone defense. They're top 5 defense in the league. This is a divisional matchup. You always look for those. You always look for the kickers in those matchups, just because a lot of the times the teams do get tighter. They know each other so well. So they do gain yardage between the 20s, but then things kind of get shut down once they get into the red zone, and it's a little difficult for them to score. And I have them projected for over 2 field goals. I have them for 8.19 kicking points. So that gives me a solid projection in terms of the over.
You would tease them up past 2.5 if you could.
Who, the Steelers?
No.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were still talking about Tucker on the kicker.
Oh, you mean like to ladder the kicker?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a book that does that, I know that. I'm not trying to spit books out here, but I know that there's one book on ESPN Bet actually that allows you to ladder the kicker. So if you're looking at field goal bets, you can do over 2.5, over 3.5 if you're a little crazy. It depends on the odds though.
That must be huge odds too. You get a good Boswell game or something like that where he's got 4 or 5 field goals. You're like, oh, I'm in the money on this one.
Yeah, hopefully, if you're looking at 3.5 field goals, you're hopefully getting somewhere around plus 1,000 odds. If not, then I would probably just lay off of that and just stick to the 1.5, 2.5 max.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's definitely one prop that stood out to me specifically.
Are you looking at all at tonight's game that we've got Thursday Night Football, Redskins, Eagles. I thought there were a couple of decent prop opportunities there, not necessarily with the kicker, but you got a couple of big-time fantasy players in the game in Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin having a big-time season. A.J. Brown, obviously great against press coverage, and that is exactly what the Commanders and Dan Quinn like to play. You have any eyes on this game tonight or rivalry game? You try and stay away from this thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love these two teams. Like, I'm looking forward to this matchup for a while now. I think for the wide receivers on the Eagles, I think that you have a solid spot here to back at least one of them. I know Marshawn Lattimore is apparently out for this game. He's not going to be playing.
Yes.
So that puts St. Juste, which he has been horrible. I don't know if you've looked at his PFF numbers at all, or even like his statistics or anything. He's been terrible. He's supposed to be on Devonta Smith in this matchup. And I kind of like that matchup for Devonta Smith. I could see one of these games being the one that he catches like a 50 bomb down the sideline and just runs that in for a touchdown. So I like any props pretty much with Devonta Smith today.
I'm seeing right now on receiving yards for Devonta, they got him at 40-plus receiving yards. Yeah. He's hit that in 6 of his last 8 games.
Yeah, I like that for sure. I would roll with Devonta Smith. I like A.J. Brown as well, but I know that his lines are a little juiced up. I think he's in the 70s.
I see him as low as 62.5, but you're right. Some of them have him in the 70s. He's hit 60-plus in his last 5 of 6.
Yeah, so I do like both receivers. I just think that Devonta, you're just going to get – just one bomb is going to get you over that number. So that's the guy that I would target here. And I think that his line to score touchdowns like in plus 170 or something. It depends on the book, but yeah, you can catch him at like plus 170, which is solid value.
Yeah.
And then obviously I like on the other side, I like Jaden Daniels. I think that you'll see a little bit more running from him now that he's, I think 2-3 weeks removed from that rib injury that he had.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks back. So I think you'll see a little bit more running, especially in a divisional matchup. The Eagles D-line is pretty good. So I think that they're gonna freak him out a little bit and
they'll flush him a couple of times and he'll take off running. Yeah. I'm seeing props for him at 25-plus. He's hit that 8 of his last 10. I'm probably going to stay away from him on passing yards. I actually benched him in fantasy last week. That was the smart move by me. Only put in like 8 or 9 points.
Nice. That's an elite move. I like that.
You know what I mean? Well, I had C.J. Stroud sitting there. And CJ only got me 12, but it still ended up being the right decision. It felt like a bad right decision, but it was still the right decision, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a tough spot for them last week. I think this is a tough spot for them as well. And then after this, I think that the schedule clears up a little bit.
Smooth sailing a little bit for the Washington Commanders. And the eventual next Jets head coach, Cliff Kingsbury.
I wish.
Me too.
We just need something, man. We need something.
Me too. All right, Duck, let's talk games because it's time for you guys to make some more wrong picks. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Duck, we'll let you kick it off today. One of the tougher games on the schedule, you did mention it briefly. Baltimore is going to Pittsburgh as a 3-point favorite. Harbaugh versus Tomlin, a matchup we've now seen, 30-something times. Every time it's a good game, man. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another good game. Honestly, the Steelers, I don't know why people hate them so much. I see
the Steelers,
everyone online,
right?
Everyone. They just talk badly on Russell Wilson.
Just not buying it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's that bad. I think he's been all right. The offense has looked better.
Sure.
Than when Justin Fields was there.
Yep.
Now, they don't have as much swag on offense as when Justin Fields was there, but they still look better. Now, here, historically, the underdog in this matchup between the Ravens and the Steelers, 74% goes to the underdog. And when the line is 3 or more points, that number jumps all the way up to 85% on the coverage for the underdog. So underdogs in these matchups cover. I like what the Steelers are doing on offense. I know that I'm going to have to hope that Derrick Henry just doesn't take over. I know that that's what I'm fighting here, but I'm gonna roll with the underdog here and the Steelers at +3. A field goal is just too much value for me to take. I mean, to give away if I were going to take on the Ravens.
All right. Brian, you're up next. You bring that down a little bit more. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm not going to bet against Lamar, but I will say this much. As much as that Baltimore offense has been cooking, especially recently, past handful of weeks, Pittsburgh right there with them. So I'm not going to bet against the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. And I think that they will be able to cover. I'm going to go with Baltimore to cover and to win the game.
Here's the thing. When it was Jaden Daniels against Pittsburgh last week, I didn't have confidence in Jaden Daniels to know what to do when he had TJ Watt and the rest of the boys chasing after him in the way that they did. Lamar is a different scenario. Man isn't on the man's on another MVP quest. Quite frankly, looking the part. You got Derrick Henry looking to score 11 touchdowns in 11 straight games. You got all kinds of stuff going right for Baltimore right now. Zay Flowers, one of the best wide receivers in the league this year. You haven't even really began to exploit Mark Andrews yet this season. I mean, Baltimore absolutely has it happening right now. At some point, they're going to work in Deontay Johnson. Might even be this game, a little revenge game, even though the Panthers in between, he'd like to forget. He'd like to treat his time on the Panthers like people treat the movie Rocky V and just kind of forget about it. I get it. I don't know. I'm going Baltimore here. I think they win, and I think it's not by a lot. I don't think it's a blowout in Pittsburgh, but I definitely think it's a big-time AFC North rivalry game, and it ends up in Baltimore's favor. All right, Brian, kick us off next. We're going to Cincinnati, traveling to L.A. to take on the Chargers.
Yeah, man.
Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh. They're a 1.5-point favorite.
Hey, I'm going with it. A match made in heaven, man. Not only because I think that, again, what Harbaugh is doing with them, even offensively, I really like it's defensively. Like, I just don't.
They got a great defense right now.
It's a team. They lead the league in points allowed. They lead the league they're up there in the league with yards allowed. And also, in the same token, offensively, not only are they sound, they're not really turning the ball over. So I think that they're going to be able to make that cover as well. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
It's a weird world. If I were to say to you at the beginning of the season, we'd be 11 weeks into the NFL year, and Justin Herbert wouldn't be a top 10 quarterback, but the Chargers defense would be a top 1 defense. Wild. There's something that The Athletic publishes called the Quarterback Betrayal Index. It's quarterbacks versus how their defense play. So, for instance, at the top of the quarterback betrayal chart is Lamar Jackson. He's the number 1 ranked quarterback. His defense right now, special teams and defense rank, is ranked 32nd combined. Right? So, it's a big betrayal. Meanwhile, it's the other way for a guy like Justin Herbert. He's ranked 14th. The defense is ranked number 1. That's a plus 13. And I still think they're going to put the screws to Cincinnati and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Cincinnati doesn't really have much going for it outside of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And I don't think it's going to be enough against these newly revamped Chargers. Give me L.A. Duck.
So for the spirit of this game, I'm gonna roll with the Bengals plus 1.5 because both of you guys are on the Chargers. I need to catch up, man. So I'm gonna roll with the Bengals. Here's my thing. So I do agree that the Chargers are most likely the sharp side, and the sharp sides do win, but sometimes the public side wins too.
Okay.
And the Bengals, you're giving me a plus spread on the Bengals here. It's 1.5, so I'm basically betting on the money line. But I'm gonna take the Bengals here. Hopefully Joe Burrow and the boys, they step up on offense, and even more so because their defense has just been horrible. But I know the Chargers have been playing like this weird game where they're basically just not turning the ball over on offense, and they're just letting their defense win those games, which is a winning formula. That's kind of what the Chiefs are doing right now. And the Chargers just do it at such an elite level. But I just got to hope that, the bounces and the luck go the Bengals' way here because they have been so unlucky these past couple of weeks. They should have won a couple matches this season that they didn't win. And I think that eventually that luck is going to flip on the other side, and they are going to catch a little bit of a hot streak. I don't know that it'll get them in the playoffs, but I know that they're going to win a game or two just off of Joe Burrow's just magnificence at some point. So I'm gonna roll with the Bengals.
I buy that. Listen, Duck's now picked twice against me and you, Brian.
Okay.
So he's picked up 2 games if he can get them both.
Mm-hmm.
Next game we'll talk about, probably the best game on the schedule for the entire weekend. KC traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills, who are 2-point favorites in upstate New York.
Wow.
I'll kick us off because I hate the Bills and Josh Allen, and I hope nothing but herpes for the whole team.
That's incredible.
Well, it depends on the simplex.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It's all uncomfortable, I hear.
It is actually all uncomfortable. You would know, wouldn't you, Brian? You would know. Gross.
Oh, boy.
Listen, Buffalo is going to lose this game at home, and that's going to make it all the more sweeter. Josh Allen will throw one of his patented tantrums in the third quarter. You'll see Pat Mahomes, probably 1 or 2 interceptions on the day, throw for 130 yards, and KC will still win by 6 points. I'm taking KC in this one. Duck.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you as well on the Chiefs. I might regret this, honestly, because my gut says that the Bills try their absolute darnest to win this game. But sometimes trying your hardest is not enough, especially against the boogeyman, Patrick Mahomes. When he is favored by less than 3 or an underdog, I've spit this stat on this show before, 26-8-1.
Oh,
favored
that's a
less
good record.
Than 3 or as an underdog. When he is... yeah, it's a ridiculous record. When he is an underdog, this is even crazier. When he's a pure underdog, 12-1-1.
I hate this guy so much.
Is the one like Tom Brady? I'm trying to figure out what's the one.
But here's the thing.
That's
It's not even like he's built special. He just looks like a regular dude who can play better than literally everybody.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, it's just when it's under 2 minutes and they just need that drive, he just has that clutch gene in him. It's kind of like Steph Curry. When he needs the shot, they go in, no matter where he's shooting them from.
It's a good analogy.
And just Mahomes just has that. He has it. So I'm just going to roll with the Chiefs here. Let the boogeyman be the boogeyman. And they'll probably, they just feel like one of those team of destiny type things, kind of like the Lions this year. They both feel that way.
Brian, I just saw the one of the aggregators on X just tweet out 19 seconds ago, Amari Cooper will play in this game.
Yeah, man.
Does that change the way you're feeling about it?
Hey, man, I got to be real with you guys. The Kansas City love is going to continue with me because you're talking about a top 5 scoring offense, a top 5 defense. And also, Patrick Mahomes, whether he has an ankle or no ankles, he tends to win anyway.
That's true.
And I believe he has both of them going into this game right here. And they just know how to win. But I will say this much. They keep playing around. They keep playing around with teams, and it's close wins here. It's blocking field goals, extra points here to win games or to walk off to win games. It's, you need this the final drive in 2 minutes. It's not looking great, but I get it. They're pacing themselves. But I got to tell you, for that reason, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I don't think that Buffalo's I don't think they're going to freeze up in the regular season.
It's a heel turn.
Yeah,
look at you.
I don't think they're going to freeze up in the regular season. If this was the AFC Championship game, number one, it wouldn't be in Buffalo. It'd be in Kansas City. But number two, I'd be like, yeah, I don't believe in him. I only believe in Patrick Mahomes. But week 11, what? Buffalo's going to be there. They're going to show up. Bills Mafia, I'm an honorary member.
Oh, man.
Let's take it on. Give me Josh Allen. Give me Amari Cooper.
All right. And whatever the other wide receivers are named, is that what you were going to say?
Kamir, I don't know. One of them starts on one of my teams.
Khalil Shakir?
Yeah, whatever his name is, give me him and the Buffalo Bills and nobody else.
You forgot our guy, Keon Coleman. Shout out to FSU.
Okay, he's still playing?
I think he's actually hurt.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, that brings us to the last game that we will pick, as we tend to do every week.
Oh, boy.
We look at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jeez,
you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
all right.
Jaguars 14-point underdogs. Brian, we'll start with you.
They're not going to disrespect my Jags like that. That's what's not going to happen. I believe the people who make the line said, yes, we will. 14 is egregious.
It's a big number. It's the largest spread of the entire season, I think.
I mean, in understanding what the number means, I just learned that 2 weeks ago, it's even more disrespectful. Because they're not just saying, you know what, you'll lose by 14. They're saying, hey, man, at the very least, you're going to lose by 14 in order to win, or whatever that is.
Sure.
How do you break that down? I'm saying that's a big enough cushion to, what did Doug call them? The trash bag kings? What did he call them? The crash out kings?
Garbage time kings.
The garbage time kings?
The garbage time king.
They're not going to let that. 14 points? This going
I
to be
thought you said Doug. I was like, what did Doug Peterson call them?
Oh,
Trash what?
Yeah, that'd been wild.
That would've been
breaking
crazy.
news sounder. I got to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to at least cover. Now, I think Detroit is going to win this game, but I think that they're going to overlook them. That's just human nature. They see a team that's struggling down and out, coming in with Mac Jones instead of Trevor Lawrence, coming in with a coach that should be gone already, with a GM. Hopefully he doesn't travel and give that bad juju. Anyway, let me wrap this up. I'm telling you right now, this game will be closer than 14 points. They'll lose by 13.
All right, so you've got Jacksonville losing by 13. Duck, I'll let you go next.
All right, this is the first time that the Lions are favored this high since 1995. Woo. I saw that this morning on Twitter.
Is that like a Herman Moore? Well, when did Sanders quit? Maybe around that time.
All right, probably around that time. But yeah, 1995, and Goff is double-digit favorite. He's been good actually in his career. 7-4 against the spread in his career as a double-digit favorite.
Man.
Has won 9 of those games. And yeah, so here's my thing. Like I agree that the backdoor cover can happen here. I agree that the garbage time Kings might get them, but I don't know. There's something about the Lions, them almost losing that game last week. I think that's gonna piss them off. I think they're gonna come into this game aggressive. I don't think they're gonna overlook the Jaguars here. I think they're really gonna try and give it to them and show the league who they really are and just roll them. I'm going to have to go against the Jags here and take the Lions minus 14. I am telling you, I need to catch up in this matchup, man, against you guys. So I'm just going to roll against you, and let's go Lions.
Really quick, Aaron, before you go.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders retired in 1999, but you're right. It was Scott Mitchell at QB.
Herman Moore, Brett Perryman.
Johnny Morton was another wide receiver.
This is the tight end. There was a pass
Lomas
catcher.
Brown, David Sloan. Luther Ellis, I'm going on defense now. Anyway, Tracy Hayworth, Chris Spielman
is like Johnson. An all-time Lion. He's helping run the team.
Benny Blades, that sounds familiar.
Benny Blades sounds like a gangster from the 30s.
There you go.
Hey, I don't know who's got the books. Give it to Benny Blades. You know what I mean? Guys, the last time the Jaguars beat the Lions, Barack Obama was just voted into office. It's been a long time.
Oh, just voted in. Not even the second term.
2008.
Wow.
November of 2008, the Jags beat the Lions 38-14. Since then, the Lions win 31-14, 26-19, 34-16, and 40-14.
Wow.
That was a big drubbing the last time around. And it wasn't even supposed to be. That was during the good season. Makes you wonder what's going to happen with McCorkle under center taking on Detroit and that renewed defense. But here's the thing. We've seen Jacksonville's defense play stiff. Not stiff in a bad way. They play tight on these teams with good offenses. We've seen them do it to a bunch of them this season. I got no doubt in my mind that the mustache, Ryan Nielsen, will have this team playing good defense for the first 3 quarters against the Lions. I have no doubt in my mind when the game gets to the 4th quarter, Lions will be up, but only like 14-3. I think the Jags will score a touchdown, make it 14-10.
Yeah, man.
I think the Jags will get the ball back with like a $1:35 left to go. I think they'll march down the field to like the 47 and then fumble.
Oh, God for that.
But I am picking the Jaguars because I do not believe Detroit can cover in this game. I think the Jacksonville defense keeps it tight. Those boys are playing decently, at least for majorities of games at this point. And all you really hope for is that the offense can get in the end zone. But boys, before we get any further, I do want to point out the injury report was released as we started the segment. And someone I did not know that was on the injury report was Tank Bigsby.
Oh.
Tank Bigsby did not practice today. Now, Killian Robinson.
He didn't look good last game.
Yeah. And Killian Robinson was a full participant, no injury issues there. So good news, bad news in the backfield, I guess. But you definitely want to see Tank Bigsby in that game. And if he's not, it's going to be real problems for Jacksonville. I'm still picking Jacksonville. I still like where I'm at. The picks are me and Brian with Baltimore. Duck, you have Pittsburgh. Me and Duck with Kansas City. Brian, you've got Buffalo. Me and Brian with LA. Duck, you've got Cincy. And then me and Brian with Jacksonville. Duck, you've got Detroit. Opportunity for a 3-1 week against me and Brian going 1-3, Duck. Could look good for you.
Going for broke, baby. Also, a side thing I just saw right now. Brian Thomas Jr. is plus money for 50-plus yards.
Oh, easy money. Oh, well, no, not easy money. No. Not easy money. They haven't targeted this man the last 2 weeks in a row.
solid value. There's a game plan that needs to be made, and he needs to be involved in it if they really truly want to.
Sure,
sounds good.
But it didn't necessarily help last week when they knew that too. I mean, I'm a little nervous about that one. But like, if anyone else was under center, I'd be okay. Yeah, maybe that works. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous on that one. A little nervous. You want to check out Ducky Bets' work? You can find him on X at Ducky_Bets, or hit him on Patreon, where all the good stuff lives. Patreon.com/DuckPond. Ducky Bets, thank you so much for joining the show. We'll see you next week, bud.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya. Love a Ducky Bets segment right there.
Always a lot of fun.
He's not really having a great season with us. He's doing well in the real world, though.
Yeah, he said where it matters.
He's actually making some cash. In real life, IRL.
Good for him, by the
way. On
way.
the show, it doesn't look great. Hey, shout out to Kilkenny. He says Foreman aged the best. It got me thinking when I saw the comment, because I remember Foreman fighting Evander Holyfield, and I remember thinking, man, George Foreman is an old dude.
How old was he when he fought him?
42. Tyson almost 20 years his senior.
Yeah, man.
It'll be interesting, man. Tomorrow night, Tyson versus Jake Paul live on Netflix. I'll be watching. Back in a few minutes on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901 if you're trying to jump in.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A few light showers tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy. Temperatures into the 50s by morning. Clouds to begin your Friday, then becoming partly to mostly sunny, breezy and cooler with highs in the low to mid 70s. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's 44th anniversary sale with everything store-wide on sale up to 44% off.
Hi, I'm Mike Lister, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida License D056341.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Jacksonville.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Have you added a new puppy to your family? Forever Vets now has puppy socials every month to help your fur baby get used to the other puppies in a safe and secure environment. Parents stay for the social, and Forever Vets trained vet techs will be there to answer questions. Forever Vets will also provide a puppy goodie bag and pup cups for your fur baby, along with some great discounts on services. All puppies under 1 year old with appropriate up-to-date shots are welcome. You must sign up in advance, so visit forevervets.com to get more info on how to register. That's forevervets.com.
A local Sunday church service stopped after a man drops dead. I had no breath and no heartbeat for 8 minutes. Then brought back to life.
Do you believe that you were raised from the dead?
Action News Jax shares the miraculous story.
That was my first time giving CPR.
We can maybe shock him and get him back. And the reunion with his heroes for the first time.
Thank you.
Dead Man Walking, today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Winter, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm gonna pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Hey, boss. How's it going?
Just dandy. Been running errands today. Let's see. I've been at a large warehouse, a hospital, and a shopping plaza. You want to know what they all had in common?
They all had safe touch security systems?
Well, how'd you know I was going to say that?
Because it's what you do. You complain about safe touch.
Whatever. But did you know they're protecting things like big warehouses and stuff now?
Yeah, big business, small business. They're all lining up when they find out Safe Touch is offering up to 50% off a state-of-the-art security system.
What are you, on Lester Jackson's payroll now?
Sorry, boss. Just dropping the facts on you.
Well, go leave your dropping somewhere else. And find me another business that doesn't have Safe Touch.
You got it, boss.
No alarm system gives you peace of mind like Safe Touch. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Special pricing is for a limited time only. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000 2049.
A local Sunday church service stopped after a man drops dead.
I had no breath and no heartbeat for 8 minutes.
Then brought back to life.
Do you believe that you were raised from the dead?
Action News Jax shares the miraculous story.
That was my first time giving CPR.
We can maybe shock him and get him back.
And the reunion with his heroes for the first time.
Thank you.
Dead Man Walking, today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida, it's Gwendolyn Pierce.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? Oh, I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. That guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. You can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move on your timeline with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Ryan, said, Mark Spain Real Estate exceeded our expectations by helping us achieve significantly over our asking price. We received much more than we were anticipating, and we cannot thank Mark Spain Real Estate enough. We've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 58,000 satisfied clients, so we know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer will be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
ESPN.com is your home for all things ESPN 690. Find shows, podcasts, Florida State Seminoles football, contests, and more at ESPN690.com. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
What up? It's the Aaron Schachter Show. I like this bed. It's a banger. Bam, bam. It's going to get up and start crunking like it's 2010. I can't hear anything you're saying. Still can't hear you. Are you talking to me? They can't hear you right now.
Now it's working.
Now it's working.
Yeah.
Now we talking. There we go.
I said crunk. Crunk ain't dead.
No, people still do it?
I think it was a song.
Oh. I'm talking about the dance style. You don't really see it much anymore.
You know the meme where it's like I can't even do the beat, but it's the dude's on the floor and all of a sudden he's waking up and all his boys are around him and grab him and they all just start dancing.
No.
Boom, doom,
Yeah.
doom, doom,
Get it.
doom, doom, doom. No?
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
I thought we were going to go freestyle.
We got it.
You going to drop bars on me? No? All right.
All right.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Hey, we're sitting in the pole position in the NFL draft.
Yeah, boy.
Once again.
No, hold on. Hey, man, hold on, man.
I'm just waiting on you, bud.
All right. One more time, Aaron Schachter.
We're sitting pole position in the NFL draft.
Let's win at something.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. And, we've talked a little bit about who they may or may not be interested in the draft. And I know one guy you're interested in the Jaguars taking is Travis Hunter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a GM. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think you draft the GM.
Hey, man, let's try something new. Let's be radical with it.
One guy a lot of people in the fan base are interested in taking is Travis Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he going to play wide receiver? Is he going to play cornerback? The answer is yes, right? Wide receiver 2?
Sure.
Okay.
Fine.
Not wide receiver 1.
Hey, listen, whatever's going to get the W's.
What about cornerback? Cornerback
Absolutely.
2?
Let's do it.
Cornerback 1?
Hey.
Let me ask you this. If you got Travis Hunter and Tyson Campbell and you still got the mustache playing defensive coordinator, are you sticking these guys on specific receivers or giving them sides of the field?
I bet you that defense, it looks a lot more like how Ryan Nielsen needs it to look.
Mm-hmm.
You got someone else opposite of Tyson like that. Not a knock on anybody there that's fought their way to get on that field.
They brought Darby. They brought Savage. They brought those guys in. So, but to the point, Deion Sanders was talking to the folks on, I believe, NFL Network, Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, and the crew, about Shedeur Sanders. And the question came up, hey, man, if Shedeur Sanders is linked to teams who maybe you don't approve of the way they develop quarterbacks, will you actually step in? I want you to listen to the answer that Prime gives on TV, okay?
Yep.
This is Deion Sanders.
Will you?
Sorry. This is Keyshawn Johnson asking Deion Sanders the question.
Strongly.
Yeah. He really was aggressive.
Will you?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Relax, Key.
Step in
Eli Manning, like, will you step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it publicly. I'll do it privately.
Yeah.
Dad, the cows come home. Yes, sir. And with Travis as well.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that's your other son.
That's your other son.
Okay, so now the conversation shifts from Shedeur Sanders, who's been linked to Las Vegas, the Raiders.
Okay.
Also a team that Deion Sanders is being linked to. Deion Sanders also being linked to this week in a report saying he's going to take over at Florida State. Be on the lookout for that. Some people even thinking he might be interested in the Dallas Cowboys role.
Is he cloning himself? What's going on? Elon Musk involved in this situation too?
A lot of people think Deion Sanders is on the move this offseason. But Shedeur Sanders has been linked to Vegas, and people are asking, well, there are other teams besides Vegas up in that draft position right now. Like, obviously, Antonio Pierce, if he stays there, maybe they like Antonio Pierce, but the word is that he's not even going to be able to coach that team next year, that they'd move on from him after this season, possibly. But you got Jacksonville in the 1 spot, don't need a quarterback. You got the Giants right now in the 2 spot, who do need a quarterback. You got Tennessee in the 3 spot. You could make the case that they would take a quarterback. They probably won't, but you could make the case. Cleveland in the 4 spot. Are they in need of a quarterback?
Yeah.
I would think they are.
Yeah.
And then you got Vegas in the 5 spot. Who do you think Deion is talking about steering him away from? Because I don't think it's the Giants.
No.
And I bet you it's probably not Tennessee if you think about Bill and Brian Callahan. Those guys are good for an offense.
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Definitely Cleveland if you're talking about.
Now, Stefanski, the coach over there, coach of the year 2 years ago.
But the organization as a whole, even Stefanski hasn't been able to overcome that.
But they did. They made the playoffs with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but the ultimate goal. And then number 5 with the I mean, he can't be talking about Jacksonville. We don't want Shedeur.
But he did mention Travis Hunter. So then you go, okay. Is Deion going to interfere if Jacksonville picks Travis Hunter? Let me take you in the Wayback Machine to a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
When the record was worse than what it is today. You may remember in the beginning of the season, 4 weeks in, the Jags were 0-4.
Yeah.
No wins in sight. Ocho Cinco asked Deion Sanders about where Travis Hunter should go.
What's their record?
0-4.
That's Shannon Sharp as well.
0-4. They 0-4? 0-4.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, 0-4.
Travis?
You might remember he was calling Travis's name on that show.
Yeah.
So I don't think Deion is going to play interference if Jacksonville pulls Travis Hunter's number.
Oh, you're saying he won't?
I don't think he will.
And you know, this is the part where I would be like, it'd be interesting if he didn't. Like, people would have their reasons, and I would hear it out, and ultimately I don't have a say-so on their life, so I'd have to be like, fine. But I'd probably be fine based off of their reasoning. But Deion has taken Travis Hunter to 2 places that have been down in the dumps. Jackson State before he got there, and Colorado, which this turnaround, haters are mighty quiet right now.
One difference.
Yeah.
Deion was the coach.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, so what I need, Link, what I need someone from another station to go to Winn-Dixie and find out, even if you got to think about it out of thin air, is Prime linked to the Jacksonville Jaguars in any way?
This is an interesting question to me. It's an interesting question to me. We're hearing all kinds of reports about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
All kinds of reports about Ben Johnson. They're even throwing Mike Vrabel's name around. No evidence.
Oh, we can get Vrabel?
I don't know about that.
Oh.
No evidence to suggest any one of those guys is interested, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
None.
They do have to be interested.
No evidence.
That's right.
But I'll tell you what. Whoever convinces Deion Sanders to coach their team in the NFL, if that happens this offseason, is getting one of those 2 guys. This is very much, in my opinion, a LeBron James, Bronny James situation. This is absolutely a team going, hey, does your dad need a job too? And the dad is bringing the recruit in.
In Shiloh, is Shiloh still at Colorado? Is he going to the league and Deion's like, nah, you get in
Deion
where
don't
you
care
fit
about
in.
him. Deion's like, don't worry about it.
He's the actual DB. Where's his number? That's great. That's interesting.
That's probably how it is in their house, too. Poor Shiloh can't get no love.
It's a great point.
Always trying to make his dad proud. So is he coming to Jacksonville? If he is, I think Travis Hunter's coming with him.
Would you rather Travis Hunter or whatever pick that you want? Because I know you're bigger on maybe
McMillan or maybe Kelvin Banks also, yeah.
In the number one spot. Okay. Or would you rather not even a King's ransom, but a ransom that's like a Jack ransom?
I couldn't trade this number one pick fast enough. Couldn't trade it fast enough.
You can't tell me how fast you would trade it.
Because you can look, if you pick Travis Hunter, I know a lot of people love this guy.
Except for Aaron.
You can pick Travis Hunter. You can pick a wide receiver who's as good or better, in my opinion. And you can pick a corner who's as good. And when you pick those guys, they're singularly focused on the position you need them focused at. Because the reality is, you are likely not playing Travis Hunter both ways in the NFL. Or if you are, it's gimmick stuff. You're not going to have him out there as your number 2 receiver if he's also your number 2 corner. If he's your number 2 corner, he's your number 4 receiver. He's out there on special plays. If he's your number 4 corner, he's your number 2 receiver. And he's playing like nickel corner or slot corner when someone gets hurt.
He's different, man.
He is. But you still haven't seen it in the NFL. Someone who plays both ways full-time and is an all-pro. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. And there were a couple of good two-way players. You watch that head coach search. Because before the draft, you'll have a head coach and a GM. If those changes are made.
I'm about to say, and their names will be Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson.
Hey, tomorrow on the show, TJ Miller scheduled to appear. It's going to be a fun day on the Aaron Schachter Show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. It's a Friday edition on a Thursday. I didn't say it. Now my OCD can rest. Thank you so much. Brian, go out and have a great night with the rest of the listeners. I'm just going to sleep here.
Elevate your live music experience with Daly's Place Blue. Live like a VIP with the best seats in the house. Premium parking, your own private entrance, VIP lounge access, guaranteed tickets to sold-out shows, and much more. Coming to Daly's Place in 2025, the legendary Rod Stewart February 25th, and Teddy Swims performing with Freak Freely May 10th. You'll never want to see a show any other way once you go blue. Learn more at dailysplace.com or call 904-633-2000. That's 904-633-2000.
If you're feeling undervalued where you bank or lost in the shuffle, it might be time for a change. Community First Credit Union makes changing easy and worth it. We've been helping the people of North Florida live their best lives for over 9 decades, and we're here to help you too. If you open a Community First checking account, we'll give you a $200 bonus, and you don't have to refer anyone to get it. Visit communityfirstfl.org for details. Member NCUA. Bonus requires deposits totaling $1,000 or more and 10 debit transactions within the first 90 days of account opening.
Do you have experience in successfully owning or operating a business, whether from a startup or growing it to eventually being sold? What were the key lessons learned, and are you willing to share those insights with other entrepreneurs? As the nation's premier organization supporting small businesses, SCORE needs volunteers able to spend a few hours each month to conduct individual mentoring sessions as well as to present at workshops. We need people with a background in either accounting, finance, human resources, information technology, legal, or sales and marketing. If you're interested in joining our team, click on the volunteer tab at score.org/Jacksonville.
In a shared vision to rid the community of hatred and bias, the Jewish Community Alliance, JCA, and the First Coast YMCA are proud to announce the second year of the Together Against Hate, Promoting Unity in Our Community evening speaker series. The initiative, designed to educate and inspire a more inclusive community, begins with a renewed effort to ignite unity throughout Northeast Florida. Space is limited, so